Hi, my name is Matt, and welcome to the Platform Zone. I'll be giving my first impressions of Dave the Diver on the Nintendo Switch. Though, as of recording of this, I'm much further in the game than usual first impressions would be, but I was addicted to the game for a while. To really start off, let's start off with the story, because this Dave the Diver is a role-playing game, an RPG, just not the turn-based kind. You are playing as Dave, just like the title says, and you are basically coming on to this assignment with a friend of yours who is this charismatic investor, just looking to make business, and you are someone who helps him, sometimes pushed into it because you as Dave are a bit of a pushover, so you're going to be doing some tasks just like any RPG. And basically you are called here out to this part of the ocean in this kind of valley that they call in the game, I'm not joking, the Big Blue Hole. And you are tasked with fishing, not just any fishing, harpoon fishing, where you will dive to help with a restaurant that your friend, who is named Cobra, the charismatic investor, who I swear has probably dipped into Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure that's a joke somewhere in the game. And this restaurant or this bar is a sushi bar, so you'll be catching fish, a lot of fish. And the chef who is going to be making that fish is going to be making it into sushi, and his name's Bancho. Is this black man sushi chef. He's pretty cool. These three are your main characters: Dave, Cobra, and Bancho. So the first thing that you can see, even from just the character designs, is this art style that seems to be 16-bit art style, and it's for a 16-bit game is surprisingly detailed on the characters, their talking, and the fish. They have this good blend of 2D with this 16-bit 2D art style with the 3D large objects and backgrounds, like the rock walls of the valley. The boats are in 3D. Most large things are in 3D, and it's honestly, they do it pretty well. They mesh it together pretty well. All of this looks like an indie game, and that's purposeful, although it is not an indie game. It is an indie game in it's not a quote-unquote indie game in a proverbial trench coat. It is actually made by a big company. They just they were going for the indie game feel and look, right? And just as interesting as the look and presentation, the feel of Dave the Diver is the gameplay. And like presented in the story, you'll be playing as Dave, diving and harpoon fishing all these different types of fish. And the unique thing about this area, the Big Blue Hole, is how much different types of fish are in this game. And you'll be going down there, of course, and just harpooning the fish. The interesting thing about this game as well is half of the time you will be underwater. Genuinely, half of this entire game is you swimming and just collecting ingredients, the ingredients being the fish. It feels simple. It feels relaxing and nice. You don't have to have a lot of skill to do so. And as you're diving, you do have to keep track of a few things, like your oxygen meter, because you only have a certain amount of breath as you are underwater swimming. And something on top of the oxygen, you have your weapons. You begin every journey with a harpoon and knife, and I think you start out with a gun. No, that comes a little bit later, but it's pretty soon. You get a gun because you're going to need to defend yourself. There's not just regular old Dory and Nemo down there. There are some predators, and you're gonna need a gun. And the interesting thing about it, this game is not just fish like the regular fish. though there are lots of different species of those regular fish. There's also supernatural. There's going to be a little bit of supernatural in there right out the gate with it, so it's not really much of a spoiler, because the quote-unquote big blue hole has all this mystery, and every time you dive into the water, the coral, the reef is literally auto-generated, like both a roguelike and a roguelite, which are similar in the fact that they are randomly generated levels, but this one is just more like a roguelite, where you're going through these is going to be different each time, but you're also progressing with each dive, progressing the story and everything. And you will get upgrades. You start from zero, just like a roguelike, with your weapons, your knife, your harpoon, and your gun. Unless you pretty much level them up outside of the water, you're going to be starting from zero each time. And I thought there was going to be simple, just okay, harpoon, gun, but they have all these different types of, not just guns and ridiculous stuff like sniper rifles, shotguns, but also different types of harpoons to keep things interesting, and different types of melee weapons. So it keeps things spicy and interesting, so that you can grab your ingredients, being not just the fish, not just the different species of fish, and eat, but seasonings that you will find in the water, which I think story-wise, it's just a lot of people dump a lot of things in the water. So you might find just salt, like a bottle of salt, container of salt or soy sauce next to the more natural growing kelp. And this is also a part of resource management, because the stuff that you pick up, whether it be the ingredients, the seasonings, the fish, all of that will weigh you down. So you have to pick and choose what you can and can't carry, or what you want to carry up to the surface. All of this happens in the day, within a day. I thought there was a whole day cycle where you can only swim underwater for a certain amount of time, but it's based on how long that you want to take and how much stuff you're carrying. But if you're done, you go back up, and it'll go through the cycle right after you come back up. And once you spend those 2 parts of the day fishing and swimming, here comes the other half of the game, where you are running a sushi shop with Bancho. As Dave, you are now bringing the ingredients to Bancho to cook. Unfortunately, your job does not end there, or fortunately for us, you are now helping Bancho run the sushi shop. You will be in charge of making the menu each time you are customizing the menu, and based on what you grabbed either previously that day, or however many days you have swam and fished, but you are, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever leftover ingredients you had that you haven't cooked or made from the last nights of you opening the sushi shop. Once again, resource management, which I myself am finding that I like. I'm liking the duality of this game. It's fun catching the fish. It's fun aiming. It's fun kind of going back and forth and battling not just the regular fish, but the sharks when you have the specialties to do so. And now you are running this sushi shop. Dave is kind of pushed into helping serve these, but though you are gonna get more help serving, you'll hire people. Now you're in charge of hiring and which staff is helping you serve, or which staff is helping Bancho cook and everything. So you're now running around, and during the day when you got the menu started, you were running around frantically making sure that everyone has their food. At first, honestly, it was stressful, but it's the fun kind of stressful. Just running back and forth with a stamina meter. Even Dave is the big guy. He doesn't have a lot of stamina. But thankfully, the shop isn't that long. So it's a fun game. where you are making sure you're doing a lot of management, and to the point of even not just giving food, not just you're pouring drinks and running back and forth and tea and beer and everything, and even updating your social media and keeping up on rankings. If it is a big, fun management and fishing game, I should say. It's unique, honestly, as someone who's gotten so far into the game that I am far hours upon hours into the game, finding new stuff, regular and supernatural. Its uniqueness is what brought me to it. The unique premise of harpoon fishing by day, running a sushi bar by night. And it has fun and animations along with it that plays into its still 16-bit art style that is cool. Pancho has these cool and fun like animations for preparing a recipe, cooking. He seems like a half samurai, half sushi chef. Sometimes it's just these fun animations every time either some thing has progressed. Every time some major thing is progressed in the overworld, it's a fun animation. It's all around a fun game that I can't wait to get more and more into. So this is definitely a game I would recommend. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.